Assalamualaikum. Good day everyone. So today I hope everyone is in very good condition. Now we are going to continue the subtopic 15.2 gametogenesis in human. Okay, so what is gametogenesis? Gamete. So this is all about the process that to produce the reproductive cell, or we call the gametes. And this process take place in the gonads, which is for male it takes place in the testes, meanwhile for the female it takes place in the ovaries. This process is that involved in the gametogenesis will produce the haploid number of chromosome, which is the number of chromosome is 23. So during fertilization, when the nucleus of sperm will fuse with the nucleus of the ovum in the fallopian tube, and the diploid zygote will be formed, which means the number of chromosome is 46. Okay, now let me take a look for the gametogenesis process. The gametogenesis process is the process that involves the formations of sperm that occurs in the testes. Meanwhile, the oogenesis is the formations of the secondary oocyte, and then if the fertilization occur, it will form the ovum, and this process occur in the female ovaries. Okay, now let me discuss more details about the spermatogenesis. This process will take place in the seminiferous tubules, which located in the testes. Okay, now without wasting our time, let me go discuss more detail about the spermatogenesis. This spermatogenesis is the process of the sperm production that takes place in the seminiferous tubules. This process is helped with the hormones of follicle stimulating hormone and the testosterone. Okay, this testosterone is actually added by the luteinizing hormone, and all this process will occur in the seminiferous tubules. Okay, each seminiferous tubule consists of the primordial germ cells. So ini adalah permulaan penghasilan sperm. And here is the parts of the epididymis, and this one is the parts of the sperm ducts. Okay. There are several stages or phases that involve in the spermatogenesis. It have the three phases, which is the first one is multiplication, dia nak multiply, nak mengganda, and second one is the growth phase, and the third one is the maturation phase. Okay. Alright. We start with the primordial germ cell, which is dia berada within the seminiferous tubules. Okay, so the primordial germ cells will divide mitotically, mitosis, alright, to form the spermatogonium, which is the number of chromosome here is 46. Okay, so after that, the spermatogonium will expand to form the primary spermatocyte. So in this condition, the number of chromosome is still 46, which is the form of diploid here. Okay, after that, each primary spermatocyte ni, okay, dia akan undergoes meiosis 1 to form the secondary spermatocyte. At this time, alright, number of chromosome dah become haploid, which is 23. Alright, then after that, each of these secondary spermatocyte will undergo meiosis 2. Dia continue pula untuk hasilkan haploid spermatids. So pada waktu ini spermatids juga dalam bentuk haploid, iaitu 23 number of chromosome. Okay. After that, this spermatid will undergo differentiation to form the sperm. After that, the sperm will transport out from the seminiferous tubules, okay, and then store dekat epididymis, and then it will flow out through the sperm duct lah. Dia akan flow out daripada sperm duct. Okay, before that, don't forget about the Sertoli cells. Okay, the Sertoli cells ni dia ada within the wall of seminiferous tubules. Function dia adalah untuk provide support and nutrients throughout this process. Okay, finish about the spermatogenesis. Now, let me discuss details about the oogenesis. Oogenesis is the process of secondary oocyte or the female production and take place in the ovary. Okay, so unlike spermatogenesis, which is occur after the male reach puberty, the oogenesis in the female begin when the female's ovaries before they are born. So, maksudnya dalam kandungan tu, kalau baby tu perempuan, dah mula penghasilan oogenesis ini. Okay, here are some stages that involve in the oogenesis. Okay, kita tengok dulu dia punya flow chart dia, which is before birth, after birth. Okay, dia punya pergerakan dia. Baik. Okay, so dekat sini a bit different from the spermatogenesis. Okay, alright. Dan lagi satu yang perlu kamu take note adalah di sini dia ada two sides, which is the first one is the developments of the oocyte, tu yang di dalam tu yang warna purple, and then another one is the outside layer, which is the developments of the follicle. Okay, so this side is all about the developments of follicle. Okay, now I would like to discuss about the flow chart tadi kan. Okay, so kita ada before birth. Okay, kemudian kita ada after birth, lepas kelahiran, dan juga kita ada puberty. Okay, so before birth dia akan start dengan primordial, dia germ cells. Okay, so these primordial germ cells akan undergo mitosis proses dan hasilkan oogomium. Okay, so this oogomium will develop to form the diploid number primary oocyte. Okay, baik. So, pada waktu ni semua number of chromosome dia 46 lah. Okay, so this primary oocyte will undergo meiosis 1. Okay. Meiosis 1, and then dia akan stop sehingga prophase 1 sahaja. Okay, so primary oocyte ni dia akan buat meiosis 1, okay, dan stop dekat prophase 1. Okay, so lepas itu apa yang kita kena tahu, macam Cik cakap tadi, primary oocyte ni dia encapsulate dengan a layer or more layer. It can be more than one layer. Sel yang dekat luar ni yang dipanggil sebagai follicle cell. So, kalau dalam ni adalah primary oocyte, so di luar ni adalah primary follicle. Okay, so the development of follicle ini, okay, dia dibantu oleh hormon iaitu FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. Okay, so selesai dekat proses before birth. After birth, apa pula yang jadi adalah this primary oocyte, okay, dia stay dalam keadaan dormant. Primary oocyte, okay, dia akan dalam keadaan dormant, which is dia ataupun dalam perkataan lain dia rest, tak buat apa-apa. Okay, maksudnya selepas kelahiran baby girl tu, the number of primary oocyte tu stay sebagai prophase 1, cuma bila menghampiri puberty, number dia tu akan semakin kurang. Okay, next, after the girl reach the puberty, okay, ni dia continue, iaitu dia punya primary oocyte ni tadi, okay, dia akan continue balik dia punya meiosis 1. Sebab tadi stop dekat prophase 1, right? Okay, now dia akan continue dia punya meiosis 1 to produce, okay, dia akan hasilkan satu first polar body, lagi satu dia akan hasilkan secondary oocyte. Okay, so first polar body ni, kita sambung kat sini. Okay, dia akan continue dia punya meiosis 2. Okey, untuk hasilkan second polar bodies. Okey. Second polar bodies. Okey. Kita sambung pula. Dah selesai kat sebelah sini. Okey. Secondary oocyte ni. Dia buat sebenarnya meiosis tu. Tetapi dia hanya stop sampai metaphase tu sahaja. Dia belum lagi lengkap. Sebab apa tak lengkap? Okey, kita kena continue. Okey. So, sekarang ni kita discuss tentang the structure of secondary oocyte. Secondary oocyte ni, dia envelope dengan layer dekat bahagian luar dia. Okey, yang dikenali sebagai secondary follicle. Jadi kalau dekat atas ni primary follicle kan, yang envelope yang meliputi primary oocyte. So untuk yang ni, untuk secondary oocyte, okey, yang envelope dia adalah secondary follicle. So secondary follicle ni dia akan develop menjadi matured Graafian follicle. Okay, dia akan ubah pula dia punya structure dia akan menjadi Graafian follicle. Okey. Function Graafian follicle ni dia akan secrete estrogen hormon. Okey. So dalam ni dia akan ada secondary oocyte yang dah matang. Okey. So bila dah matang nanti apa akan berlaku adalah Graafian follicle ni dia akan menghampiri permukaan ovary. And then the process of ovulation will occur. So, proses ovulation akan berlaku. Ovulation, which is the Graafian follicle. Okay, dia akan rupture dan release secondary oocyte. So, apa yang berlaku selepas itu adalah, okay, katakan, okay. So, ini adalah secondary oocyte kan? Okay. So, struktur Graafian follicle tadi ni, dia akan membentuk menjadi corpus luteum. So, function corpus luteum ni adalah untuk secrete estrogen dan juga progesteron. Okey, baik. So, sekarang ni baru kita boleh sambung balik tentang secondary oocyte ni, iaitu selepas ovulation. Okey, selepas ovulation, sekiranya berlaku fertilization, if there is a fertilization with a sperm, okey, dengan secondary oocyte ini, barulah secondary oocyte will continue the meiosis II. Okey, untuk hasilkan dua, iaitu satu, iaitu dia akan hasilkan polar body, dan lagi satu, barulah ovum akan terbentuk. So this means without fertilization, okay, tanpa persenyawaan berlaku, so the secondary oocyte dan juga corpus luteum akan disingkirkan through the menstruation period. Okay, tapi sekiranya berlaku fertilization, okay, secondary oocyte ni dia akan completekan meiosis II dia, hasilkan ovum. Alright, dan then pada masa yang sama corpus luteum ni dia akan secrete estrogen and progesterone. Okay, alright. So in this case, you may refer to the correct or in the good sentences. Okay, you may refer to your textbooks. This is the process that occur. Alright. And then this is the structure of sperm and the Graafian follicle. The sperms consist of three parts, head, midpiece and tail. Head tu, alright, dia ada banyak nukleus. Alright, manakala midpiece tu dia banyak pula mitochondria dekat bahagian sini untuk bantu sperm to swim to the fallopian tube for the fertilization. Meanwhile, the secondary oocyte is the large cell that is surrounded by a gel-like substance. And this secondary oocyte dan juga follicular cell, iaitu follicle cell tersebut akan membentuk Graafian follicles. Okay. This is the comparison between the spermatogenesis and oogenesis. Both process take place in the reproductive organ, testis and ovary. And this process produce gamete. and the gamete is the haploid number. Alright, and the last one is the differences between spermatogenesis and oogenesis. Okay, the place that occur for the spermatogenesis is testes. Okay, the size is small and millions of sperms are formed every day. Okay, meanwhile for the oogenesis, it occurs in the ovaries. Secondary oocytes are large, and then only one secondary oocyte is released every menstrual cycle. Okay, after meiosis 1, you can see, alright, 2 secondary spermatocytes are formed here. Meanwhile, untuk meiosis 1, only one secondary oocyte formed and another one will form one polar body. And then meiosis is complete. Completed dekat dalam spermatogenesis. Meanwhile, untuk oogenesis, meiosis 2 ni hanya complete if the fertilization occur. Alright. So, in the sperm formation, spermatids undergoes the differentiation. Meanwhile, untuk secondary oocyte dia tidak mengalami pembezaan. In the sperm production, got 4 sperm there. Meanwhile, in the oogenesis, only 1 functional secondary oocyte produced. Another 3 are non-functioning polar bodies. Okay, and last one is the production of sperm is continuous until old age, starting from the puberty. Meanwhile, the productions of the secondary oocyte is not continuous. Dia ada stage dia, start daripada female fetus dan remain dormant apabila dia baby. Kemudian the female reach the puberty and stop during the menopause. Okay, with that, we reach the end for this subtopic. Thank you very much for listening and watching. So, ready for the next subtopic, 15.3, menstrual cycle. Okay, take care and see you again.